Haiti needs help, guys.
Yes.
It's a disaster over there. Help Haiti. I don't know if that is a hashtag going around, but we should start it.
We should definitely
help
start that.
Haiti, please, somebody. Haiti's interim government has already asked the United States and the United Nations to deploy troops to protect infrastructure. I don't know if either the UN or the US or France or anybody's going to come in there. If you go in there with troops to try to be the policeman, whatever country does it is looking for trouble. They're going to end up being the bad guys. You deflect, unfortunately, from who the real bad guys are. Because ultimately somebody's going to want to go attack, the troops who are there to police, to destabilize the country even more. Troops will have to fire back. They are not trained policemen to begin with. They don't know necessarily the culture of the streets of Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And next thing you know, everybody will say occupying force, occupying force. So I think that would be a really bad idea. As bad as it is in Haiti right now, I think sending troops in makes it worse.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
No, I agree. I definitely agree.
Now
I actually have family in Haiti.
And what do you think? What do you think?
I don't completely disagree with there being assistance
You
brought
think
in.
you think they should bring it in?
I feel that it could help. I don't think that it'll be as much of a disservice as we think it'll be a service when, even before this occurrence happening, they've needed help there. This has just been an event that's really, really raised, how terribly the people are feeling against their government and how little protection someone like the president there has. So in my opinion, I don't think it would be something that would really make things worse.
In thought process, of course, you want people to come in to make order, and you want people to come in to keep it safer. So from that perspective, if you're able to bring troops in and you say somehow these troops are going to keep order, these troops are going to police the streets, these troops are going to be fair. Military, unfortunately, they're trained to kill. I'm just being frank. So yes, I agree they need help, but sending in the military, I think, is not the right help. I don't know what the right help is. I'm not an expert. I'm just concerned that
that's the real thing to say. It's like we don't know what could be the help. But
I hear what you're saying because they're desperate for help. But put yourself in the shoes of somebody in the American military. You go to Haiti, they say go sit in front of this Parliament building, protect the Parliament building. Somebody is going to come and try to attack the U.S. military, especially people who want to destabilize Haiti even more. Okay, then the military has to fight back. They're not going to get shot at and not shoot back. Next thing you know, the U.S. military is shooting at unarmed Haitians. Or killing unarmed Haitians because the guy sitting in the U.S. military is scared that they're all being attacked. Next thing you know, now it's the U.S. Army's the bad guy. That's what would happen.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's my concern. Now, on Saturday, a senior Biden administration official said the U.S. has no plans to provide military assistance. They said the administration sent senior FBI and Department of Homeland Security officials to Port-au-Prince, although, Vanessa, you're right, they need help. I don't know if anybody has the answer. Now, on Friday, a group of lawmakers announced they'd recognized Joseph Lambert, the head of Haiti's dismantled Senate, as a provisional president. They also recognized as Prime Minister Ariel Henry, whom Moïse had selected to replace Joseph. Meanwhile, among those arrested for the assassination are 2 Haitian Americans, including one who worked alongside Sean Penn following the nation's devastating 2010 earthquake. Police have also detained or killed more than a dozen former members of Colombia's military. It's just a huge mystery. What is Colombia's military doing there? Some of the suspects were seized in a raid on Taiwan's embassy. The attack at Moïse's home before dawn Wednesday also seriously wounded his wife. Obviously, the people who were protecting him had to have been in on it. Because how did you get through all of that security and nobody who was protecting him got hurt? Isn't that odd?
Right.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
That's certainly not a coincidence. Colombian government is saying that the men from Colombia who were recruited by 4 different companies and traveled to Haiti via the Dominican Republic. Now, Colombia is known for mercenaries. Why? Because there's a lot of men who join the military in Colombia, and after they get out of the military, they don't have a job, unfortunately, because it's Colombia. So many of them have to figure out how to make a living. So they end up making a living the only way they know how, to continue to be some sort of private militant, whether it's being a militant in the country of Colombia or being a paid mercenary. There's reports that the United Arab Emirates, for example, hired Colombians to fight in a proxy war in Yemen. There's Colombians fighting in Yemen. So they're Colombians who leave the military, many of them are fighting all over the world as paid mercenaries. So it's not completely unheard of why Colombians are in Haiti. Who hired them? Why? How? Because? When? Nobody knows yet. Now, they say there is a doctor who is an American Haitian doctor who they have also arrested in Haiti. They said he's the man behind the plot, but ultimately, my opinion is nobody knows what the heck's going on yet. It's still to be determined. TBD.
Yep.
But yes, it's terrible what's going on there. You have relatives both in Haiti and the DR.
Yeah.
Are they
my sister's
Dominican or
actually-
they're Haitian?
No, my sister's Dominican, and she's an architect, and the majority of her construction she builds in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. So the majority of her business is built.
This is your sister.
Mm-hmm.
And is she staying in Port-au-Prince? Is she scared? What's going on there? What is she reporting?
She was stuck in Port-au-Prince for the first 3 days, and then I haven't spoken to her recently, actually, to know what happened after that. But she was safe for the most part.
Hundreds of Haitians are gathered outside the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince Friday, pleading to get out. 36-year-old Thermidor Joam said, "This country has nothing to offer. If the president can be killed with his own security, I have no protection whatsoever if somebody wants to kill me."
Absolutely. What would you say, like, the best action they should take, like any Haitians that are out there right now that would want to come out here, like filing for asylum?
You can't get out of Haiti. If you're going to risk your life, you would have to literally risk your life. And of course, you're risking your life staying in Haiti. So,
Right.
you know, I'm not telling
And you
anybody.
said it would be like a political asylum?
Yeah, you would have to reach American border, whether by boat, through Mexico, through Canada. You got to be able to reach the American border to apply for asylum. The U.S. Embassy is
Gotcha.
not going to give refugee status to anybody camped outside of the U.S. Embassy. So, for example,
so all these people that
right,
are in
they're
front,
out there. They're not going to do anything.
They can't do.
Thermidor Joam, who said this country has nothing to offer, who's camped outside the U.S. Embassy. The embassy's not going to open right now.
Right.
And they're not going to give refugees. If they do, it's going to be to a very, very small. The only way is to make it to the border, but then you're risking your life
I was
coming
about
to
to
the
say,
border.
yeah, that's gonna
You're literally
be a
risking
lot.
your life.
Yeah.
You're going to be in a little raft, a boat. I mean, how many times do we hear boats capsizing with, you know, refugees on it? Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.